mate?
Oh, I have all kinds of things I can do.
So Sean's currently living dangerously. He's pulling pretty much 5 watts a kilo, trying to get back on. He's about 10 meters off the back of this bunch. I don't know if he's going to make it, actually. Hey!
Craig, I'm so glad that like me getting a new job in Zwift hasn't changed our broadcasting techniques at all. So just to bring people into the picture, I am following Barry Nixon, who probably isn't being broadcasted because I wasn't meant to be here. But Baz is in the front group of 35-40 and he's coasting around about 3.5 watts a kilo, but Barry is more than capable of doing like 4.5, and he's doing a great job. But hello to all of our listeners. Lovely to have you here.
Hello to everyone. I'm currently following Sean Fogenberg, who has just been viciously dropped through the Oasis. And interestingly enough, someone just came through him holding mid-5s on a TT bike. So that's going to be interesting if he catches the front group. But yeah, hello everyone. Lovely to finally be back here.
And I guess to finish off the broadcast intro redo, I am following Murray Bruce, who's currently sitting at 55, just coming through the Oasis. Now he's this group is now chasing also someone on a TT bike. I guess that's the theme for the night is watch me ride my TT bike on TikTok in a scratch race. But anyway, he's in a group of about 5 or 6 there. I don't know. Working together is definitely giving them more credit than they deserve.
So, Brent. Yeah, I've genuinely no idea what these two guys are doing. Why would you attack on a flat where you've got a group of probably best part of 50 just behind you? So as soon as you like run out of energy, they're all going to catch you up, and you may struggle to actually hang on to them at all. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, no, I completely understand the philosophy behind it, but I think I'd be looking to do that probably on the climb just after the roundabout.
I think you'll find they'll probably do that too. So what they did is they launched it just before the Oasis. So it's not a big bump, but it is significant on in the desert in that you really do have to lift your watts going into there. So they lifted the pace. People were putting people at threshold, and then they lifted it again going up the rise. So
thing is, though, Ben,
you had a bunch of people struggling.
Thing is, though, they did that like probably 2 kilometers before the Oasis. So like now would be a good time to like just have a bit of a kick and see how the group's going. But they did it on the flat, so I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, I don't really understand doing it as far out as they did. I do understand what they did and why they did it though. And if you, for me, looking at the sidebar, they went from a group of about 40, 45 down to a group of 30. They shelled a whole bunch of the mid Bs. So guys that possibly could have held on to the end or held on through Cole if they hadn't have been hit yet. And now you've got a group of four, group of three, all scattered off the back behind the main group. It's not the greatest racing around, but it kind of did the job. It showed a few people.
Yeah, I think it's about to get interesting because we're just about to hit the only hill on the entire race, apart from the exit out the tunnel. So we've got a climb that maxes out at, I think 5%, maybe 4, heading into the forest. So this is where things could get interesting.
I reckon we'll be looking for firm 4.7s going up this. They're going to go a bit silly, I reckon.
Yeah, Buzz is doing like 6-7. Yep. Weird things happened. So Barry was doing like 6-7 watts a kilo, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, went down to about 2 watts a kilo. But he's crawled back onto this group, and group is probably 20, 30 strong. Compared to like 50, 60. So he's hanging on in there and doing a very nice job of it as well. And I think realistically, if Barry's in this group at the end of the race, he's got an absolutely killer sprint, so he's got a good chance of winning. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, in behind, I'm back with Murray. He's dropped down to 61st. He's lost his group. I think there was another group that they were catching in front. It was about 8 seconds, and I think the rest of his group put on a big squeeze to go up, and Murray got caught out, couldn't go with them as they went and caught the group in front. So he's been trapped in no man's land now. He's about 9 seconds off the back of the group, maybe even 10, because it looks like that group shelled a couple off. But he's still putting in time into the guy behind him or the rider behind him. So, man, that's a tough spot. Let's see if he can put a dig in here as he goes up. He's just going into the climb now. So maybe he can put a dig in and close some of this gap, hopefully, and maybe get back into this group of 3. But otherwise, he is in a bit of no man's land, I'm afraid. Yeah, Murray likes to look good. No problems there. I'm not actually sure what bike that is. Looks like S-Works Venge on some DT Swiss wheels, so solid choice.
So with Sean's just going over the top. He's heading down to the tunnel. And on bikes, I just did a quick check. Pretty sure he's on the Canyon, or maybe the Cervelo. I couldn't quite read it. So he's also done a beautiful job of matching bike to kit. It's nice greeny blue color. with the DT Swiss disc.
So earlier on today, I finished the second of the Neokio badge events. So I now have the beautiful purple shoes, which is the entire reason why I did the badge events in the first place.
So what? They've outplaced your yellow shoes, have they?
They have indeed.
I'll give credit to Zwift on the Neokio kit. I've only done #1 of the Root Hunter badge, but that Neokio jersey is pretty baller. I'm down with it.
All about shoes.
None of us have to wait
I
for the
haven't done
public
any of
bid.
them yet.
So
Thing
welcome
with, like,
everybody.
the-
Now that you can hear me as well, good day.
Oh, did you do a silence treatment on yourself again, Craig?
I did, yes.
Welcome back, Craig. Craig is here.
Oh Lord.
One of these days, we're going to get it right from the start, and our listeners will have no idea what's gone wrong.
No, we won't, Ben. No, we won't.
For the record, that has never happened and may never happen again. However, so I did the second of the badge events earlier on today, like about 1 o'clock my time, and I was totally keyed up to like I'm going to do zone 2. I'm going to do zone 2 the whole way around, and then there was a bunch just in front of me, and I did zone 3, and there was a sprint at the end. And it's really good fun.
James, you really should have just hung out with Norm. I'm sure Norm played well. He was on the same ride as you.
Well, I just ended up like doing mainly tempo and sprinting at the end rather than like doing zone 1, zone 2 like I should have done. And if I'd done that, my legs wouldn't hurt quite as much as they do now.
I'm sure that's true.
I'm sure that's just a standard ride for everyone, isn't it?
My legs really hurt.
I should have done this, but I did that instead because it was more fun.
Yeah, basically. But my legs are really sore.
Holy
find
cow,
that
Tatum is
one.
trying it.
He's not even in first, is he? Oh,
He was a
I'm
second
watching the
ago,
YouTube, so
but
it's delayed.
he was pushing the pace for sure. I don't know how many are left in the group, but yeah, the pace was pushed for sure on that exit from the tunnel.
Yeah, there he goes.
So Zwift's Tower Live has got it at about 21, 22 riders in the front group.
Baz appears to have given up. He's dropped right off the group, and he's given up.
Wow.
Be interesting to see if Tatum tries his long-range attack. But so Sean is sitting pretty in a little group of 3. About 20 seconds to the group up the road, 20 seconds to the group behind. They should do okay. About 39th, 40 position.
Think everybody knows where the finish line is in this race? That's a Chris Greenland call out.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so turns out Chris actually thought this route finished on the boardwalk downtown, and yeah, it doesn't.
I genuinely have no idea why Chris decided that the race didn't finish anywhere other than the banner.
We couldn't figure it out either, James.
We never exactly know what you've done with a race course, James.
Well, it's a single lap. I didn't really understand how that could be any more complicated than it actually is. 1 lap.
Oh no, I fully understand, but hey, some people just don't know how to read properly.
Chris
I
Greenland,
think you just
if you're listening, what were you thinking?
I think you just get used to coming out of the tunnel and turned into downtown. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, I gotta go right back in the desert.
Well, I
And
think
that's-
he said that
not the
he
biggest
realized
either.
as he hit the ramp out of the tunnel, and the distance remaining just wasn't right. So back to the race here. Tatum is hanging very close to the front of this group, so he's definitely being very careful not to get caught out. But this group is definitely a couple riders smaller than the 28 rider front group, or 28 or 29 rider front group that we had through this section in race 1.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And I am trying to follow him, but the leaderboard obviously keeps on changing as people keep on changing positions. So I actually have Bishop out of OTR, who will probably finish in a very, very similar position to Tatum. So looking forward to seeing how this one pans out.
So this is an early attack. ATP has 3 riders going. Tatum's going with them. This is big. I mean, this is red numbers with a kilometer and a half to go here. It looks like most of the group is still with them, but it's pretty strung out.
That is a big attack. Holy cow.
That was a huge attack. I don't know. I don't think they've lost many people, but they will have definitely softened a few people.
Yeah, it looks like it's the attack has tailed off. Tatum's now back to about 4 watts a kilo, if not 3.5. And I reckon, because I can't see, we've probably got about 1.5k to go.
I think we're less than that. I think we're about to hit the start of the that 600 meter sprint segment that you love, James. And ATP is gone with 3 riders again. Tatum's with them. There's a couple OTR riders.
Tatum's gone early.
Tatum has gone very early. And Bruce Bortoff is right on his tail.
Tatum's getting absolutely swamped.
Yep, that was a little too early, I think.
Yeah. Poor Tatum.
Yeah, that's pretty much a reenactment of my race earlier, except I was back about another 10 places. But
oh wow.
Yeah. So Tatum finished in 15th place, which was essentially the back of his group.
Oh, that group did fracture within the last kilometer and a half. That was because there were very close to 30 in the group right up to then, and they dropped about 10 of them.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tatum. I finished at the back of my group several times, like all but 2 times.
Things like the sprint is, at the end of a race is the only thing I'm actually remotely good at. Whereas Tatum is a self-confessed non-sprinter, but he's obviously tried like something different, and it didn't work out. And fair play to him for like giving it a go.
Oh, absolutely, and definitely, I and a whole bunch of other people were on him about trying something on this race, but honestly, there isn't much of a spot on this course to try anything if you're not a big watt sprinter. So, no,
Exactly.
definitely fair play on him for trying.
It's a very tough course to try to pull something off. So Sean has just made an attempt at doing the same thing, trying to minimise his group. Has not worked at all, but he tried.
Yeah.
So coming up to the big roundabout, for Sean in his group of 4. And then just the big long sprint. We'll see how Sean goes with it.
Yeah, Stuart Williamson in race 1 tried the long attack even longer. He tried it right out of the tunnel, and he got up to about 4 seconds. And then I went and tried to chase him down, and I just drugged the whole group back up to him.
Yeah, it's hard to jump across without bringing people with you in Zwift.
Yeah,
it would change the game an awful lot if you could get away from people a little bit easier.
well, especially as the second
Maybe
body
make the
through,
burrito
right?
a bit easier. Yeah. Make the burrito a bit more common in the power ups. I reckon. Give people a chance to do that. That would be awesome.
So it does look like Sean is lurking nicely here. I think he looks in pretty good shape to have a go at this group.
Yeah, he definitely does look like he's lurking with intent. He's just sitting there, just nice, drifting along, very much just hugging the back wheel of that rider in black. I think he's our friendly Kiwi. They are in black. It would be a reasonable assumption. One person's going from a fair way out in this little group. They're not going to hold that. We'll see if and when they jump. We've got a drafting power up dropped. If they're going, they're going to have to go soon. We're over 400 watts, 500, 600, 700, 800. Sean's going for it. And he's through. Won his little group fairly convincingly there.
That was a nice sprint. Indeed. That was a nice sprint.
That was well timed and well done. That was lurking with intent indeed, and he did well there. Well done, Sean.
Today's cycling performance brought to you by Mescal. Murray he is just in lonely Zwill. He's held off all the riders behind, but he's 30 seconds behind the riders in front here as he gets to the final stretch, closing in on that sprint segment. So he will be just looking to finish strong and hold off the group behind. Let's see if he puts a dig in at the sprint at least. Well, it looks like people in front of him are dying off or falling back or something because he's moved from 61 to 58. I haven't seen him pass anyone yet. That's always a fun part of Zwift.
I don't know what's happened there because I mean it doesn't look like people have dropped right out of the race, but it looks like he's legitimately picked off people that were trying to hang on and burn themselves out.
Yeah, there was definitely a number that went through the screen from up to bottom, but I don't remember the racer being on the screen. It's all good fun in Zwift.
All good.
Fun and games.
On another note, Councillor Brent Robinson, are you doing the TTT this week? TT even.
Is that Innsbruck this week, UCI?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to give that a go.
Which one?
Probably noon on Sunday.
Okay.
So your 7 p.m. race, yeah?
Yeah. I'm doing it at 7 o'clock Sunday, so...
Yeah, I think that's the same one.
Yeah.
Race 2?
Race 1.
Sorry, race 1. Oh, you're doing Sunday. Yeah. Sorry, I always get Sunday and Monday confused.
At the moment, I'm basically working 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. So, yep, Sunday's the only one I can make.
So Murray is approaching the finish line, completely solo, but doing very well.
did good. He hung in there. He decided not to launch a self-aggrandizing sprint at the end, though. I don't know how he resists the urge. Didn't know he was on TV.
Didn't know he was on TV.
Always the way, isn't it?
So you'll have to let him know later, Brent. But thanks
I'll
everybody.
text him a link.
Thanks everyone, and this is the end of. So we should have actually finished, as opposed to our failure to start earlier. Our coverage of the Herd Winter Racing League race for this race, and yeah, thanks everybody.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.